One of the things I think is just a reality in our world today is that we have so much of a accumulation of knowledge that we've lost a little bit of wonder. You know, we live here by the beach, and I love going to the beach. And something I think about, I guess just because I'm a weird person, is I'm like, what if we didn't have textbooks? What if we didn't fly on airplanes? Like, what if I just came to the ocean and I stood at the shore and I looked out where you can't see any other land? What would I think is out there? If we didn't actually know, I don't know, maybe we'd be terrified of the deep water. Maybe we would assume that was just the end of the earth. Who knows? We'd have this wonder about it. I think the same thing when I travel. When I go on an airplane, it blows my mind that we are actually flying thousands of feet above the earth, seeing the globe of the earth, seeing like the buildings and mountains and whatever it is. We can see it from way up in the air. And I think about how for generations of humans, wouldn't that have been the coolest thing ever? Wouldn't that have been the dream, to be able to like be a bird and just to see Earth from up high? But instead, when I'm on an airplane, everybody closes the windows and they get out their phone and they play like Scrabble and stuff on their phone. It's crazy to me. We've lost any sense of wonder. And Proverbs 23 reminds me of this morning or today when you're watching this, and it's something that I want to pose to us. And it's Proverbs 23. It says this in verse 12. It says, "Apply your heart to instruction and your ear to words of knowledge." And here's how I think this applies to us, is that yes, we do live in a world where maybe we know a lot of things right now. And it can be so easy for us just to say, well, hey, we know this, we know that, we're so assured of it. But the call of the scripture, the call of Proverbs, is to instead to apply our heart to instruction and our ear to words of knowledge. And the difference here to me is that instead of being the kind of person who just says, hey, this is how it is, I know it, I'm not going to change my mind. Instead, if we're applying towards instruction, if we're lending our ear towards knowledge, we have to have a sense of humility. And not only humility, we need a sense of hunger. And why I think that's important for you and I is that instead of being a kind of people who are just settled, unwilling to learn new things, unwilling to change, if we're going to follow Jesus, we have to do so with humility, but also a hunger. And hopefully as well, that childlike wonder that we talked about. So my encouragement for this 128 time, our challenge, would be let's be a people who are not just content with what we know, not content to stay here, but instead acknowledge that maybe we don't know it all. Maybe instead we need to recapture a little bit of awe, a little bit of wonder in that humility of saying we don't know everything, and that hunger of we want to know more, specifically about what it looks like to follow Jesus. Because the reality is, if we're following God, there should be things in us that need to change. There should be desires in us that need to change. So let's not lose that wonder, even though we might have a lot of knowledge. Let's not lose the wonder and the desire to hunger for more and to be humble, admitting that we don't really know a lot, actually, that we have to be humble before God and following His way. Church family, that's our 128 moment for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I just want to encourage you to join us, whether it's in this room, 9:30 and 11 on Sunday. We're going to be gathering as the local church to worship Jesus, continue our series called I Am, and share life together. But we also have opportunity to gather online. If you want to join us online at 11 o'clock is when that will go live. And either way, we just pray that we'd be united as a church family and be a people that share in the good news of Jesus in our life as well. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys right here on Sunday.